everyone, welcome back for another deep dive. You wanted to know more about infographic videos, specifically the best ones out there right now.
Yeah, some really incredible stuff out there.
So we dug into a list of the top 10 animated infographic videos of 2025, and we got some insights from industry experts who break down what makes them so great.
Should be fun.
Now, one thing that jumped out at me right away was the companies on this list.
Oh, yeah.
We're talking big names like Google, Slack, Logitech, brands we all know. But they're using animation in some really unexpected ways.
It's true.
To really connect with their audiences.
Yeah, and what's really interesting is how they're all using animation to tell stories, connect with their audiences on an emotional level.
Yeah, you know, that's one of the things that really struck me, how many of these videos, even the ones aimed at businesses, that they're not afraid to tap into emotion.
Exactly. It's not just about features and benefits anymore. It's about making people feel something.
Like take Matomic, for example. They're a data security company, right?
Right.
And their video features this human firewall imagery.
Very powerful.
What do you think they're going for with that?
Well, I think they're playing on our innate need for security and protection. You know, we all want to feel safe and secure, especially when it comes to our data. And by using this human firewall imagery, they're creating a sense of trust and reliability.
It's true. And then they take it a step further by emphasizing productivity and peace of mind.
Right. It's not just about keeping your data safe. It's about how that security can actually make your life better. You can focus on your work. You can relax, knowing that your information is protected.
And I think that's such a clever way to stand out, especially in a field that can be pretty technical, like data security. It's not the most exciting topic for everyone.
Right.
But by bringing in this human element, by making it about how it makes you feel, they're making it much more relatable and engaging.
Exactly.
It's like they're saying, we've got you covered, we'll protect you. And with all the data breaches happening, that message just hits home.
It does.
It makes you realize that even the most technical stuff, it still has an emotional side. And if you can connect with that, you can build a much stronger connection with your audience.
No question about it. And it makes you wonder, is this emotional approach something we're seeing across the board?
I think so. And you know what? A perfect example of that is Slack.
Okay.
Instead of going the obvious route, like bashing email, their video actually positions Slack as a way to enhance communication, not replace it.
Yeah. And they do a great job of highlighting those benefits.
Right. They use terms like transparency and accountability to build positive associations with their platform.
It's like they're saying, hey, we're not here to disrupt your workflow. We're here to make it better.
And I think that's a really smart approach because people are already comfortable with email. So instead of trying to force them to switch to something completely new, they're showing how Slack can actually complement what they're already doing.
And make it even better.
Exactly. And it makes me think this whole idea of connecting with your audience on an emotional level, is this something we're seeing more of in B2B marketing in general?
Absolutely. I think businesses are realizing that even in the B2B world, emotions play a huge role in decision making. It's not just about logic and numbers.
Yeah, it's about connecting with people on a human level.
Exactly. It's about building trust, creating a sense of connection, and making your message more memorable.
So it's not just about explaining what your product does, it's about making people feel something.
And that's what these top infographic videos are doing so well. They're not just informative, they're emotionally engaging.
So we've talked about the power of emotion, but another thing that really impressed me was the level of visual storytelling in some of these videos.
Oh yeah, for sure. They're not just static graphics anymore.
I'm thinking of the Aero Electronics video. Have you seen that one?
I have. I thought it was incredible.
It's like a mini movie.
It is.
They took this concept of connecting technology to a better life and brought it to life with these stunning visuals.
Yeah, it was really well done.
Like you're not just watching a product demo, you're experiencing a story.
And I think that's what makes these videos so effective. They're not just trying to sell you something, they're trying to take you on a journey.
Right, and the visuals are so essential to that journey. They're not just there for decoration.
Exactly. They're helping to tell the story. They took some pretty complex technology and made it feel so accessible, even exciting, by connecting it to this idea of a brighter future.
And they did it through those stunning visuals.
Yeah, it shows that you don't always need to be super literal with your visuals. Sometimes being metaphorical, evoking a feeling, an idea, that's what works best.
Right. Okay, and Logitech is another great example of this.
Okay, yeah.
Their video has this really conversational feel. They're emphasizing effortless communication. And the animation and the music work together to create this feeling of ease and simplicity.
And I think that's really important, especially for a company like Logitech, who's known for their user-friendly products.
It's like the animation is reflecting their brand identity. It's not just that it's cool, it's that it directly supports their message.
Exactly. It's like they were painting this picture. Imagine a world where communication is seamless, where it's actually enjoyable. Who wouldn't want that?
And it highlights how important every element of the video is. The visuals, the sound, all of it contributes to your message, your brand identity.
You got to create that cohesive experience.
Absolutely. So for anyone out there trying to create impactful content, I think there's a real lesson here. How can you use visuals to not only tell a story, but also reinforce your brand identity?
Yeah. Something to really think about.
Because those visuals can be so powerful.
They are, and they can really help you to connect with your audience on a deeper level. Okay, moving on, Northwestern Mutual. They took on a really sensitive topic, estate planning, and they handled it so well.
It's a tough subject. They could have easily gone the scare tactic route or guilt-tripped people, but they didn't.
Nope, they struck that perfect balance, acknowledged how important planning is without being preachy or overwhelming.
It was like a gentle nudge, a reminder to think about the future.
Right, and that's crucial when you're dealing with sensitive stuff. You don't want to alienate your audience. You want them to trust you.
Exactly. You want to be a resource, not a lecturer. Okay, now let's talk parody. They went straight for the pain points.
But it worked, because they were speaking directly to their audience's struggles.
It was like, hey, we get it. We know you're frustrated, and we're here to help.
And that resonates, especially with business folks. It shows you understand their challenges.
You're not just pretending those problems don't exist.
Right. You're acknowledging them and offering solutions.
Well, there was this video from Fivetran, the data company, and they used the analogy of electricity to explain this complex concept of data centralization.
Yes. That was very clever.
Wasn't it? Like, suddenly it all made sense.
Because they took something that's really abstract and complex and made it relatable. Everyone understands electricity.
Right.
They all use it every day.
And by using that analogy, they were able to simplify this technical topic and make it instantly understandable.
Exactly. And it shows that you don't always need flashy visuals to be effective. Sometimes the most impactful videos are the ones that focus on clarity.
Yeah, it's about targeting your message to a specific audience. Like Fivetran, they knew their audience was probably struggling with data silos. So they used this familiar analogy to simplify the solution.
Right. It's a great lesson in effective communication. You have to understand your audience and what their pain points are.
And I think that's so crucial in today's world. Like, we're bombarded with information all day long.
Right.
If a video can quickly grab your attention and explain something complex in a way that makes sense, that's gold.
Absolutely. That's what makes people want to learn more. Analogies are powerful tools, especially for explaining those technical things. You connect something unfamiliar with something everyone knows.
You bridge that gap in understanding.
And bam, your message hits so much harder.
Okay, so we've talked about the power of emotion, the importance of storytelling and clarity. But there's another layer to this that I found really fascinating.
What's that?
It's how these videos seamlessly integrate their brand identity into the visuals. It wasn't just about looking pretty, it was about reinforcing their brand message.
Totally. It's all about creating a cohesive experience.
Right, like the visuals are an extension of the brand.
Absolutely. And that's something that a lot of companies miss. They just slap some random animation on their video without thinking about how it fits with their overall brand identity.
And then it just feels disjointed.
Exactly.
Okay, so a good example of this, of getting it right, is Scuba Analytics.
Okay, yeah.
Their video uses this sleek, modern style of animation called 2.5D.
Oh yeah, that's a really cool technique.
I know, it looks awesome, but I don't really know what it means.
Well, basically it's a style that combines elements of 2D and 3D animation.
Oh, okay.
So it gives it this really dynamic and engaging look, like it has depth and movement, but it's still very stylized.
Right, and for Scuba Analytics, it's perfect because they're all about translating real-time data into actionable insights.
Exactly, and the 2.5D animation just gives you this sense of like diving into the data itself.
It's like the visuals are literally representing what they do.
Right, and that's what makes it so effective. It's not just a random animation style. It's a visual metaphor for their brand.
I love that. Okay, and speaking of visual metaphors, we have to talk about the Tezos video.
Oh yes! That was a good one.
So they're a blockchain company, right?
Mm-hmm.
And their video uses these dynamic block visuals to showcase the flexibility of their platform. It's such a strong visual representation of their core message.
It is. And it's also a great example of how you can be creative and conceptual without sacrificing clarity.
Yeah, like the visuals are engaging, but they also serve a purpose.
Right. They make the complex world of blockchain more understandable.
Okay, so what's the takeaway here? How do we apply this to our own work?
I think it's all about finding that sweet spot where visual storytelling and brand identity intersect.
It's not just about making a pretty video, it's about using visuals to tell your brand story in a way that's both memorable and impactful.
Exactly.
And when you get that right, it can be incredibly powerful.
It really can. It creates a cohesive experience for your audience, reinforces your brand message, and just leaves a lasting impression.
Okay, so remember that Google video we were talking about?
The one that uses kinetic typography?
Yeah, the one that topped the charts.
Oh, yeah. That was a great one.
It totally blew me away. It's a perfect example of how to take something as simple as text and make it come alive.
And they did it so well. It wasn't just about animating the text. It was about using kinetic typography to really emphasize the message and tailor it to a specific audience.
Right. They really made it feel like the video was speaking directly to you.
Exactly.
Which is incredibly engaging. And it makes you think, are we using text effectively in our own videos?
Yeah. Are we just slapping words on a screen, or are we really thinking about how to make them stand out?
Are we making them engaging? Are we using them to tell a story?
It's a good question, because text can be just as powerful as any other visual element.
Right. So we've covered a lot of ground here. We've talked about the power of emotion, storytelling, clarity, brand identity, and we've seen some amazing examples of how brands are using animation to create truly engaging and impactful content. But I'm curious, what stood out to you the most?
That's a tough one. I think what impressed me the most was the overall creativity and innovation on display.
Yeah?
You know, these videos weren't just about following trends. They were about pushing the boundaries of what's possible with animation.
Yeah, they were taking risks and trying new things.
Exactly. And that's what I find so inspiring, this constant evolution, the drive to create something truly unique and memorable.
I agree. It's like, yeah, we can all learn from best practices and established techniques, but there's also this incredible opportunity to experiment.
To break the mold and find your own unique voice.
Exactly. And that's what makes this field so exciting.
There's always something new to discover, something new to try.
Well, I don't know about you, but I'm feeling pretty fired up to go make some awesome videos. Okay, so we've analyzed some amazing videos, seen some great techniques, but let's step back for a second. What are some of the bigger trends we're seeing in infographic animation? What's happening in the industry overall?
Well, one thing that's really clear is that emotional storytelling is becoming more and more important. Facts and figures aren't enough anymore.
Yeah, people want to feel something. They want to connect with the message on a deeper level.
Absolutely. And we've seen that in all these videos, right? Matomic tapping into our need for security, Aero Electronics inspiring us with a brighter future.
Emotion is what makes these videos work.
Exactly.
Another big trend is personalization. With so much content out there, you got to tailor your message to each person.
It's more important than ever, and animation is perfect for that.
You can create custom experiences that really resonate with different audiences.
Different styles, colors, even voiceovers for different people. You can even create those choose-your-own-adventure style videos where viewers pick their path.
I love those, and with AI becoming more advanced, who knows what we'll be able to do with personalization.
The possibilities are endless. Another trend that's picking up steam is 3D animation. It's becoming more affordable, which means even smaller companies can create those high-end visuals.
Yeah, it's not just for big studios anymore. In 3D, it just adds another layer of immersion. You can create these realistic worlds that pull the viewer in.
Exactly.
Okay, let's switch gears a bit and talk about the challenges of creating these videos. What are some of the pitfalls people should avoid? What mistakes do you see often?
One of the biggest ones is trying to cram too much into one short video.
Yeah, less is more, right?
Exactly. You need to be concise, focus on your main message. Think of it like a catchy song.
You need that hook, that memorable chorus. You don't need every single detail.
Right. Be ruthless with your editing. If it doesn't move the story forward, cut it.
Another common mistake is forgetting about sound. Music, sound effects, they're so important.
They set the mood, add to the emotional impact. Good sound design can make your video so much more professional.
Oh yeah, and the voiceover is crucial too. That's literally the voice of your brand.
You need it to be engaging, professional, and a good fit for your brand. Sometimes it's worth hiring a pro.
Totally agree. Another challenge is measuring how effective your video is.
Yeah, views and likes are okay, but they don't tell the whole story.
You need to know if people are taking action, are they visiting your website, signing up for your email list, buying your product.
Those are the metrics that matter.
And analytics can help you track that and adjust your strategy.
Exactly. It's about creating a video that achieves your business goals, not just a pretty video.
So what have helped the future of infographic animation? Where do you see things going?
I think we're going to see even more creative, more innovative uses of animation. The possibilities are endless as technology keeps getting better.
Yeah, it's exciting to think about.
It is. I can't wait to see how businesses use animation to tell their stories, connect with people, and make a real difference in the world.
So if you were going to make your own infographic video, what would you do? What style comes to mind? What story do you want to tell?
You know, you don't need a huge budget or fancy software to make something great.
It's more about the idea, right?
Yeah, some of the most impactful videos are the simplest.
It's about finding creative ways to make your information pop.
Make it memorable, because we're all drowning in content these days.
It's true.
And these top videos, they remind us that sometimes the best way to communicate is to show, not just tell.
And animation lets you do that.
Exactly. So get out there and animate, experiment, have fun, see what you can create.
That's all for our deep dive into the top infographic videos of 2025.
We hope you enjoyed it.
And we hope it gave you some ideas for your own videos. Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep diving deep.